I think within the next 5 years, we're probably going to see like that, not like an app-based unicorn, but like a product-based unicorn creator business. Could be Happy Dads. Who knows? But I think there's some product is going to land, and then it's just going to like skyrocket. It's going to change the game.
Yo, everyone, welcome to the NOFOLD podcast, your favorite podcast on the internet while you're actually watching TV in a boat. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Your own Matt Floyd right here, half of the NOFOLD podcast, and...
Welcome back to week 2 of Matt's confusing intros to the NOFOLD podcast. I am Ezekiel, and I gotta say, Matt, I have never watched TV on a boat. I just haven't lived a lavish life like you.
Yeah, you watch TV when you get satellite TV on a boat, man. Man, you've made it, dude. You've made it.
But like TV is irrelevant. So,
bro, it's a TV. I didn't say what you're watching on it. You just
I'll watch like Roku. I'll watch some Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'll watch like The Kissing Booth 2.
What's your favorite Netflix series right now?
Netflix series like that's currently running, or like just came out. Same vibe, you know, bingeable.
Yeah, bingeable, but it's like Netflix original though. Just curious.
Ooh, that's tough. Would Cobra Kai count? Even though it started on YouTube?
Yeah. No, Cobra Kai's good.
I've been loving Cobra Kai. I watched that. I binged the whole thing right when it came out. Another good series though. I'm trying to think of like stuff that just came out. I'm not keeping up too much with like Netflix stuff outside of like the Cobra Kais or if stuff intrigues me.
I think for me it was the Shadow and Bone, which is really funny because I'm not more into like I heard it was a really good book. Actually, my wife has been reading it and she's like the book was way better than the series. But I'm like, I don't know. I've never read the book. I'm always a movie person. Ooh, there you go. That's a question for you. Sorry to keep jumping all over the place, everyone. But
welcome to the NoFo podcast.
Books or movies? What do you prefer if they have both of those for a series?
Are you talking about like Lord of the Rings
movie book? You better say movie.
It's usually movie for me.
We can still go on another week.
There's a very select few, like, you know, like the Die of a Wimpy Kid series book, and every time but not do the movies outside of Roderick. Like, what a snack, but like
what a snack.
But definitely those flops. I remember getting so hyped for those as a kid because I was like, they're gonna be animated. It's gonna be so sick. Like my whole family was like, yo, you read these, you're gonna love them. And then friggin' little white boy walks out here, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I was not a fan.
I would have to say, I know there's gonna be a lot of people listening to this podcast that's gonna be like, yo, books always. Your boy ain't a reader. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mind reading, but if I can watch a movie and it's like good, it doesn't have to be the best movie of all time. I'll watch the movie over reading a book any day.
True.
But my wife would beg to differ. She'd be like, you're an idiot. You should be reading these books. And I'm guessing, I've read the Lord of the Rings books. They're great, but nothing beats.
I didn't know you read so much.
Bro, I read. See, I got books. Doesn't mean I read them all, but I got books. So I I'm somewhat intelligent.
They look good in the background.
Exactly. They're great on shelves, man. You just have to like wipe them off every now and then because a lot of dust collects.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I wanted to figure out like Netflix wise, they've been doing a lot of work right now. They've been doing a lot of like just putting out new shows and stuff because they know everyone's still at home. Everyone has time to kill. So it's like, yo, let's just keep pushing out these episodes. And more companies are realizing like Netflix and stuff, it's just going to continue to blow up, and it's going to continue to like take out all these other like CNBC, NBC. If they don't have an app or something that they're able to stream online, they're going down the toilet like fast.
Netflix is like now the like acting place. It's like it's a bigger deal to be on like you can be on the silver screen. You know, you can make it on your Peacock like Office reboot show. Yep. But for someone to get a lead role in a Netflix film, I'd say at their current like output is like a 7 out of 10 chance it's gonna be a good movie and it's gonna like propel your career. which honestly leads me to one thing that I want to talk about today, which was Bo Burnham and Inside. Have you seen it?
I will say I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen clips of it. I got to see a lot of stuff on YouTube earlier when Zeke and I were in here researching right before the podcast some of this topic. But it seems interesting. I want you to elaborate on like what makes it like so amazing for you, because I know a lot of people would be watching it, especially that are like pre-internet, and wouldn't really get it. I feel like they'd think it as almost like a sitcom.
It's not for boomers.
Yeah, it's definitely like, so elaborate on like what your take is on Inside.
I think for me personally, I feel like I related to it on a different level, because like I was sitting around doing nothing in quarantine, like absolutely nothing. And like basically
all of quarantine.
Yeah. Like every amalgamation of idea that had come from like my brain of like, I could film that. I could film that. Like, okay, I could go outside here, but I could just film it in my room. Like I just like watched that just play out in the special. And it just made me go like, I could have done that. Kind of. Like I could have done it's Inside. It's like what he did Inside. I could have done my own, what I did Inside. And I feel like that's why like I was so captivated by each and every deliberate cut and how it was so sporadic in like overall like going step to step, but it did go from point A to point B. And it was all about like, you feel that like journey of quarantine of like how did we get from point A to point B? When you like trace it back, you're like, oh, okay, buddy, like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it was, if we were talking about, like you said, favorite like Netflix series right now, I'd probably say favorite Netflix film right now would have to be that one.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
Did he make
stellar.
it for YouTube or did he make it for Netflix?
Made it for Netflix. The whole thing, yeah.
But he's on YouTube though.
So as far as I know from like watching it and then watching like, you know, you do like your research after you enjoy a good movie.
The wormhole.
He started on YouTube back when I was a small little child, and he blew up. And then from there, he was like one of the first internet comedians. So the media like jumped on him, and he started doing live shows all the time. But it was just not his vibe, to the point of where like he would have anxiety attacks on stage. And not be able to do it. So he kept trying. He did a Netflix special a couple of years ago, and then finally he just stepped away. He said like, I'm done with it all. And then finally Inside is about him. He wanted to attempt to come back in the year 2020 to do live shows, but then the pandemic hit and he couldn't.
Oh, okay.
So he just struck this deal with Netflix and made a comedy special over the course of that year.
Interesting. So that's where it kind of like picks up from that moment of like, he was still going to make some kind of like film. It was just not for Netflix. And then Netflix was like, yo, make this for us.
So he was trying to get back onto his feet live, and the pandemic forced him to get back on his feet through a short film.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I mean,
yeah,
I'm intrigued to watch the whole thing. I have a very short attention span. It's really bad.
Dude, it's like a YouTube video. It literally will like cut in between things, and then like there's like without zero explanation in the first like, I don't even know, like 15 minutes, it's like him setting up the cameras, him setting up the lights, him explaining why he's even in this room, why he's even doing this stuff. And then like 2 seconds in, he's like, I'm bored, I'm tired. And then it cuts and he's like, I'm just going to spend all this time FaceTiming with my mom today. And it's like this whole like 3-minute song about it. It's really good. But yeah, he really like explores all the different avenues of like how the internet has like fricked a lot of things. There's an entire song about sexting. There's an entire reaction part. There's an entire part where he makes fun of like Twitch and live streaming. There's a song that's literally called Welcome to the Internet. And when you really listen to it, you're like, oh, yeah, the internet is like, ooh, interesting.
It is its own world.
It is.
People don't understand that.
But it is our world. It's like the future.
And it just keeps evolving. Yeah, I think it's a great film because I honestly, like, it's cool for me to watch what other people create, especially in that kind of nature, outside of just like a typical movie. Like you were saying, like it's not shot and edited and looked like an actual like film or like a movie that we'd see from Hollywood. It's like something that's just straight out of YouTube, but shot and like keeps your attention just long enough to then move your attention to something else. And that's crazy that they've hacked that, and now they're showing it on Netflix, and now people that aren't even like our generation are seeing that film, and they're like, this is interesting. What does all this mean and stuff? But then when they start to research it, then they start to figure stuff out. And it's just like a total like domino effect of like, wow, this is just where we're at now.
Yeah.
This is just where it's going to go. And like, we don't know exactly how it's going to go, but we're going in this direction now. And it's not like your traditional movie setup stuff. There's some raunchy movies on Netflix. There's some like I was like, there would be
Inside is one of them.
Yeah. Like, I just don't see like how any other like movie production company could do that out there. But Netflix pulling these like indie films out of nowhere, and you're like, I just watched someone have sex for 20 minutes in a video. What?
Yeah.
Like, there was no way a Hollywood film would be able to do that. Like, that would be okay to be like, yeah, send it to the theaters. Now, like, anyone can stream it in their freaking living room or on their TV or on their freaking phone. Like, what? It's wild.
Netflix is just a different place.
They hacked like entertainment to the next level. And like you said, didn't they have their own app now or their own like TikTok thing? Like,
oh yeah, if you go in the app,
This is
are
wild.
taking like clips from the shows, their most popular shows, and then like putting them in a TikTok style format. You can't like, at least I could be wrong, but I don't think you can like anything.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like, Arrested Development, BoJack Horseman clip, funny this, funny that. And then, of course, like if you just like click on it, it'll just open up to the show. So if you liked the clip, you can watch the show.
Yeah.
Which I think is really smart.
Oh, it's genius. Because it's just enough of a tidbit to be like, oh yeah, I have like 20 minutes to kill. I'll watch some of that show. Like, wild. Yeah. I think that's like how entertainment is going. And then to kind of segue into the freaking... how the internet took it, we don't know. But Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight, like, what entertainment was that? Like, I was shook.
Dude, I want to be hugged like how Logan hugged Mayweather.
Bro, on the internet, people tearing him a new one with that one hit that was like, yo, looked like you got like knocked out, and like Floyd was holding you up and stuff. I was like, man, this guy he doesn't catch a break. But granted, he went 8 rounds.
He went the distance with Floyd Mayweather, which, like, for context, Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, and Conor McGregor, who Logan has on the internet, said he would not want to step into a ring with Conor McGregor, has stepped in a ring with Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor didn't last all those rounds, and Logan did. And yes, whatever, Floyd's older. It's only 3 years.
Yeah.
The guy never stopped training or anything.
No.
Like, it's 20, or I think it was 4 years. So 2017 to 2021. It's not like Floyd went, I got my whatever $500 million bag or something from that and left. Like, no, he didn't stop training. He's still like at his like prime-ish.
Yeah.
And to fight a complete amateur in quotes fighter, and for Logan to still keep up is like really impressive.
Huge. Yeah. Like a lot of people in that like MMA and boxing community were like, yo, props to that guy stepping foot in the ring and making it 8 rounds with like the legend himself. Like, that's just unbelievable. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I think a lot of people were expecting that knockout. Realistically, it would have been awesome to find someone like, or at least in one of the rounds to like get someone to be knocked out. But realistically, I didn't see it happening anytime soon when I started watching the first couple of rounds, because I was just like, they're really going for it. And they had moments where like one was like taking body shots. The other one, like you could tell with Logan being the height and the length and stuff, he was able to like connect on some shots. He was able to like hit a couple of shots on Floyd. You know how cool that is to be like, yo, I was like fighting Floyd and I landed exactly. Yeah. Like, what? Like, dude, so crazy. But like vice versa for Logan being able to take some of those punches from Floyd, because Floyd was delivering them. Like, he wasn't holding back. It was wild. So I was like, props to that dude for making it all the way.
Dude, you know what I found was really friggin' weird about it, though? Is at the end of it, Logan Paul, one of the first things he says after the fight is like, I didn't expect him to give me that many body shots.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't plan for it in training. I was like, first of all, your trainer's a friggin' idiot. if he doesn't expect the small guy to go for your body and not freaking swing at your head.
Yeah, he's not gonna keep going like this.
But like, in what world do you have this narrative of I trained for a year and you didn't expect those body shots? Like it's like that weird. Like I'm not saying he's making excuses. I just mean it's literally like they trained specifically for him only to get hit in the face. Like, come on, the body shots are what make people fall.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think he was jarred a little bit because he wasn't thinking straight.
He's like, I got a body shot.
Yeah, exactly. He's like still trying to figure out where he's at that moment. But like, honestly, it was really cool to see how he walked out and he was wearing the Pokemon card.
Oh yeah,
and
everyone was like, "That's so cool,
bro!" Like that was a first, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, whatever." Like a lot of the older generation didn't really understand it. They're like, "Why is he wearing a Pokemon card around it?" And then to come to find out, that's like $1 million card right there. And I was like, "Yo, this was $1 million fight based off of just that Pokemon card, let alone them two actually fighting." It's like that's insane. So who knows where that could continue to go? I think they've got like now Jake's got his fight scheduled with Usman
again. We don't care on the NOFOLD podcast.
Yeah, we don't care.
No, it's not like Usman. He'd die if he fought Usman.
Yeah,
it's Tyron Woodley.
Who
again,
yes.
who was a 5-time UFC champion. Wow. But he's also lost his last 4 fights in a row. And he's never boxed in his life.
Yeah.
And he's also a wrestler. So he's basically like if Ben Askren was like a level 10, like this guy is like a level 30. Like it's a bump up, yes, but I'm talking UFC levels here. I'm not talking boxing.
Yeah.
Like Jake can still like first round knock out this guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%.
It's gonna happen. And Jake's going to make a frick ton of money, more money than you guys, I mean, not me, but you guys will ever see in your life. And
yeah, this man has a bag. I know it.
And
he's not ever going to tell me. He's going to literally be like, until we like end this podcast in like 20 years from now, he's going to be like, yo, I've had like $1 million I've just been sitting on and it's been under my bed the whole time.
Bitcoin.
I've just been sitting there mining it under my bed. And I'm like, exactly. That's how it's going to happen. I see that happening.
Probably. But yeah, it's just going to like, I've learned so much about the boxing industry from keeping up with like Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. But it's just that fact of like, they are prize fighters. Like, yeah. Like regardless of how much we want to see Jake take on a boxer and challenge himself, mm-hmm. If he loses, he doesn't just lose that fight. He loses like millions of dollars.
Oh, millions. Yeah.
Like because
100. Of
the fact that like he won't get those big fights anymore. He won't get those big numbers. He might not even headline mm-hmm. like anymore. Or he'd have to work his way back up like a regular boxer. Right now he has that like clout to be like, I'm already at the top of my game and I'm just pulling you up to my level sort of thing. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, the more and more I thought about it, I also looked at like Mayweather's career too. Mm-hmm. Like I learned about that stuff too. Like Pacquiao, like they had been in talks to fight for 5 years. Like because Pacquiao challenged him back in 2010 and he was at his prime. And then Mayweather said, wait. And then in 2015, when Pacquiao was out of his prime, Mayweather fought him and he won and he made a frick ton of money. Like it is that balance of like picking your fights. Because if Mayweather had just said like, I'm going to challenge myself and take you on, he might have lost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he wouldn't be the 50. Now, technically, neither of them lost. So he's still undefeated.
Who?
Floyd.
And Logan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was an exhibition.
Yeah, so that's why I said
Logan could have knocked him out, and Floyd could have left that building on a stretcher, and it wouldn't have done anything to his record.
Yeah, okay, so he's still undefeated.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, no, I mean that's just like he is gonna be the like at least of our generation. He's the most like paid athlete.
He's the highest paid athlete of all time. Yeah, actually.
Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, he made $1 billion from fighting. And then his next $1 billion is in real estate, guys. Be ready for it. That's what he said.
Floyd real estate, bro.
Mayweather Mansions.
My man, just buying all this real estate. He's going to go work with Grant Cardone. I know it now. I see it. Grant's be like, I'm going to tell you how to sell. And then Jordan Belfort's going to jump in there and be like, actually, it's a straight line persuasion. Let me tell you about it.
10x.
Sell me this pin. There you go.
Exactly.
I think it's so funny how these guys are like, no, granted, they're super smart. Like what they're doing well. Like it's awesome.
Mayweather is extremely smart.
Yes. And so like I don't think he's no dummy, but at the same time it's just funny to take certain people serious, and he's going to have to break that stigma of like people taking him serious, cuz all they see him as is a fighter. And it's like to be a businessman, it was like Michael Jordan. Like he was the athlete, the best in the world, and then had to convert to a businessman. And like that's like not an easy transition. Granted, he did have a brand behind him, but still it's so hard to like become like that business person. So when that happens, it'll be interesting to see how he like goes into that route. But for now, it's like, you're just live up your fighting for maybe another year or two, and then just be like, I'm done. Like, because if he tries to go again, he could lose that undefeated streak if he pushes his luck.
I heard one guy in the press conference on Mayweather's side, like right after the fight, he was like, it's like, regardless of how you think this went or whatever, however much hugging or whatever, like, realize that this could be the last time you will ever see Mayweather in the ring. Mm-hmm. And that's very true.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's old. He's a smart businessman in the fact of like, dude, when that fight ended, man had zero scratch on him. He was just smiling, and everyone went, legalize bank robbery. like it's just like I have never felt someone say something so absurd and then it feels so real.
Oh yeah. Like he walked away and it was just like he was doing this. I was like, are you kidding me?
He walked in like it happened. What? So it was 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds, so would that be like, I don't even want to do the
24
math. 36
8 times 3
8 times, oh yeah, 24. You're right, quick maths.
Boom.
But like 24 minutes, $80 million. Like he just like thank you for your time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just went into the gas station and you were like, I'm gonna look at every aisle real quick, and it's gonna be about 24 minutes, and then I'm gonna walk out of this door and I'm gonna have a bag with me. And you're like, nah, man, that's a fool. He literally got zero, like you said, zero scrapes on him.
Exactly.
He like just if he would have done a morning workout that morning, that's it.
Dude, and the time it would take me to buy my groceries, Mayweather can buy like 17 of the grocery stores.
Costco, you got it.
Exactly. Boxing is just a different breed, and I think Jake Paul like saw Floyd Mayweather and was like, that's what I'm gonna do. And he's like trying to do that. I think there's going to be a time where he's going to go in over his head and get himself knocked out.
Oh, dude, there's going to be, especially because someone brought it up. I know we'll like jump to the next topic, but someone did bring up at the post-fight conference, it was like they talked about maybe going into the UFC. And Logan was like, I think that would be pretty cool, like grappling and stuff, more of that. If they get into the UFC, they're dead. Have you seen UFC fighters? Like true,
they're beasts.
They're animals.
Yeah.
They don't care. They'll like gouge eyes out. Like even though they're not allowed to, they'll still do it and be like, gotcha. Like instead of gotcha hat, they're gonna be like gotcha eye. Like that's literally what they're gonna do. And I don't see them lasting long because granted it is like way more violent than boxing and there's so much more at stake. And those guys are just like it's cage fighting. It's not round fighting or like arena fighting. It's like, no, it's you and that other person, and one person is coming out of this ring alive.
Yeah.
That's a totally different dynamic than put some gloves on and let's box. It's like, no, they're kicking. Like take a heel,
an elbow
to the jaw. Yeah, exactly. On a roundhouse. You ain't living past that. You maybe have like a little bit of your jaw left. Like hopefully they can talk after the fight. Who knows? Like that's going to be interesting if they do dive into the UFC, because that's going to be a whole nother world. That's like,
I don't think they'll do it.
He brought it up like he was interested in it.
Maybe they'll do like a fun thing or like some sort of like social, like Logan Paul wrestles Ben Askren just for fun, but I don't think they'll ever like get in it though. Yeah. But, to end the conversation, it's said on record, I saw a thumbnail, but
it's on record with a thumbnail.
Floyd was like, yeah, like Tyron Woodley, he can come hop in our gym. We'll train him for the Jake Paul fight after the whole gotcha hat thing. So, dude, could you imagine, like, if he wasn't kidding?
Oh yeah,
and like
I don't
Tyron
think
Woodley
he
like
is.
goes in there and like trains with him for the next 3 months. Like, dude, Jake's fricked. Like, that's the difference between like Ben Askren. Ben Askren learned from some like dope.
Yeah.
like he did not care. He just got his bag and left.
Oh yeah, you could tell like he was not in fighter shape. When you saw him step into the ring, you're like, bro,
everyone switched their bets. Like, frick.
He's like, that man just ate a bag of Cheetos before he went up there. Like, legit, it was so bad. So I'm like, yeah, if he does that, dude, like, that's gonna be interesting.
Exactly.
That'll be really, really interesting. I think also on the side of like entertainment and people making money, bro, NELK, Happy Dads. Y'all heard of these?
I don't follow with NELK that much because I'm a recommended YouTube pig. So
okay.
NELK will never hit my recommended because YouTube doesn't like them.
Yeah.
So like I hear from them when they do something notable, but I don't like consume their content.
Yeah, I will say I'm a dedicated fan just because I love their persona of just like IGGA, like just don't care at all, and they just do their thing, and I'm like, that's cool. Like I commend you. Like even though like all of it's not great, like when it comes to like just like pranks and stuff like that and things going wrong or people getting arrested or something like that, it is what it is. But like for them to literally do what they're doing on YouTube now and not getting paid a dime for, but all of their merch and now releasing a hard seltzer that's going to be like its own entity is out of this world. Like it's like if you would have told me that like 5 years ago, that's like, yeah, there's a bunch of YouTubers that are going to start their own brand and they're going to also make a hard liquor or a hard seltzer, and they're going to be like one of the highest grossing like groups and brands in the world. Not believing that. But like those guys are crushing it. Like, and they're not stopping. Like if you see fans, like it's almost like pre-Logan Paul, when it was like he was a YouTuber and he was gaining that fame, and it was just like people would show up out of nowhere. Anytime they film videos, it's like there is college kids out the wazoo just like banging on doors, running on the streets, like corralling around them as they're driving down the street. Like if they find out that NELK or Full Send Group is there, bro, game over. Parties like astronomical, Project X style. Like it's insane how much influence they have, and not a dollar of that money comes from YouTube because they're like, yeah, we're not going to do this for here.
Dude, I mean, from my outside perspective, I think it's a little risky to do a hard seltzer brand.
Yeah, but
because like, dude, I don't. You watch them more like what hard seltzers, what things were they like chugging before they released their own brand?
Well, I mean, you got White Claw, you got Trulies, you got White Claw. Like that that space is not that big. Like, I mean, you have Bud Light, you have Coors, you have like your name brands now making seltzer, but they all just taste like crap. And I'm interested to find out. I have some on order actually, because you can order online and you can get it shipped to you. So it's like online, California, and one other state right now that you can order. Oh yeah,
because the alcohol laws.
Exactly, yeah. And they have to go state by state, but they're committed. They're getting it all over the U.S. They want to be like all over the place. They got one of the biggest distributors of beer in the nation to be behind them and back them for all their bottling and stuff. So it's insane. So
if they go direct to consumer, like that would be really, really smart.
And it's simple, it's clean, and like how they were describing the drink, I'm like, yo, I could drink a seltzer like that. I'm not into like the sugar drinks. I can't do them. I'm not like wait, how old are you?
I can't drink.
You're like 20.
This is your thing.
20, right?
I'm 19.
19? Sheesh. 19, man. What was I doing at 19? I wasn't filming a podcast, I'll tell you that.
Probably not.
But anyways, yeah. I think it's like one of those things that they're going to continue to explode, but it's like for you to utilize a platform and not make any money from that platform, but still continue to like push that platform, it just shows how much value in content and consistency on YouTube is the ultimate win. No matter $1 if you get from them. It's like if you have a brand and it's recognition and you're not posting on YouTube, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Like it really comes down to just that right there, because they're not getting $1 from anything, whereas all these other people are trying to make it big on YouTube because it's like they're trying to look for that money through sponsors and other things. Of course, that's all they can rely on. And they're still making it like YouTube is like their world to like, or their viewpoint to the whole world is through YouTube. And it's like, yo, we're doing it for all you guys. Watch these videos. We're going to try to publish one every other week. Like, we're going to be on it. And if they don't, they release like a little teaser video saying, hey, we can't release this video because like we have a couple warrants out for arrest. And so we would be like hurting ourselves if we put a video out right now. But don't worry, we're going to have another one coming up. Like that kind of dedication. And YouTube's like, I don't know who's you giving them money. I'm not giving them money. Like that's why
they're not brand friendly.
Like, yeah, and they're still pushing it. It's like
it's because I've realized, especially from like being on this podcast and like honestly having like now more like an eye of like research, because at any moment like a podcast topic could come up. Like YouTube is the reason why like TikTok can't take it out just yet is because YouTube is like the storytelling factory. It is building some of the greatest storytellers. Like you're looking like even like the NELK boys, Logan Paul. Like yeah, he could do like Vine, right? YouTube is where he like built the foundation that got him to Japan, and then like lost that all, and then came back. Without YouTube, he could not fight Floyd Mayweather if he was a TikToker. 100%. Like it would not be the same thing, but he is able to tell these incredible stories and do these incredible things. Same for NELK. They see that value in like telling the stories and doing all these things and being like, oh, we may have a warrant for our arrest. Like we're going to do these like really interesting like things. They see the value in the storytelling, and that's what people are able to like attach themselves to so fast.
Yeah.
And like, it's different on TikTok. Like you see a lot of like 1 million plus view like TikToks are really good stories. Sometimes, most of the time it's just funny, haha, smack cam. But on YouTube, it is like I watched a guy who I have followed for so long go through all these ups and downs of like, does he want to do it anymore? And then he made a video, exact same style of video he's always done. He did it. It's all video games. He did it on this new game that just came out called Metopia. And it hit trending. And it was like the first time he's ever hit trending. Because I followed him since he was like super small. And I was like, whoa. Because it was just like every like storytelling is like one of those things where you learn where to find the puzzle pieces, and then you try to make them come together, and they finally come together just right. And then that's where other people start to see it. And then YouTube puts it on their trending because they want more people to see it. And then that's where your like career like takes off. And then you only get like better from there. And that's like going off of like the NELK thing. Like partially I think it's a little bit of a risk to do hard seltzer because if like it sucks flavor wise, they're fricked. But like they are able to tell that story to where even if it's only 2% better than a White Claw, it feels like it's 50% better because of the fact of how they're able to construct the brand.
100%. And like it's going to be cool to see more and more creators diving into products. And like I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg for like who's stopping like Ninja from making a cereal.
He could get some Ninja Pops today.
Bro. Like,
I mean, Ninja's done like every product under the sun.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just overall in general, like this is gonna be a new wave.
It's creators creating brands.
Yeah, bro.
Like
and it's just
Ninja
not
cereal
about themselves.
isn't Ninja cereal. It's just Ninja making a cereal
brand. Yes, I see that becoming more and more of a trend because their product is called Happy Dads. It's got nothing to do with NELK, nothing to do with Full Send or the NELK Boys or anything of that sort. It's literally its own entity. And I see like, yeah, I just see it now, creators making products like this that are going to be its own entity, live on its own, and be astronomically like reviewed, used, like utilized in everyday society. And a lot of older brands that we've always had that are like, it's okay. It's like the store-bought brand. They're going to have to step their game up because literally everyone's watching TikTok. Everyone's watching social media. Excuse me. As soon as one of them take off, it's like their kids are going to be like, yo, I don't want that cereal anymore. I want Ninja Pops because it's Ninja. Like, or I want this ice cream. Or I want this
gamer cereal.
Yeah,
because gaming.
Exactly, dude. It's not going to stop. And then, like, who's to say that parent's going to be like, no, this one is way better than this one? No, they don't care. They're going to be like, that's what my kid likes. Okay, cool. I'll get that for my kid. Times that by 1 million people. It's going to take off. It's going to be wild. And literally, it's going to be like whole aisles full of just like creators making all these random brands. Or if brands are smart enough right now, reach out to creators and make collections or make one-offs and different approaches to their stuff.
I don't think creators will do it. I mean, me personally, like if I was thinking of starting something, like let's say I wanted to make my own Gamer Pops, right? And Kellogg's hits me up and says like, yo, like you can be on the box, it'll be sick, we'll do all the manufacturing. I'm just gonna be like I already talked to like all these manufacturers, like I already like know what I'm doing, like it's great and all. I could be sponsored with a big brand, but like I am a big brand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they're gonna start their own, like similar, like
exactly.
Yeah, like it's just gonna be a thing where literally they're not gonna beat out. That's either you or they're not doing something. So a brand reaches out to them that is big in that space and says, "Hey, you don't seem like you're doing anything in this space. We want to utilize you." Then that'd be a creator, be like, "Okay, cool." It'd be like a makeup artist doing like, I don't know, just something with like salad. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't really do anything with salad, but as soon as you put your name on there or you put something of that creator's like standpoint and stuff on that, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like they eat that. That's healthy. Okay, cool. Eat this instead. Like it doesn't take much, but if there is, like you said, already a space for creators that are thinking about it, it's going to take off and it's going to continue to take off. Like we've talked about it last podcast. Like you like food reviews. You do food reviews.
Well, there's going to be a cookbook at some point.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What's stopping you? So imagine you just doing a hint of food stuff. What's stopping someone making their own popcorn?
It's very true. Yeah.
Like it's gonna keep like, and it's gonna become a thing of like, okay, who's gonna make a crazier product? And it's just
I think what we're gonna see is like creator collectives, like you know how like
hype houses.
No, yucky. Like you know how like Zoomies has MrBeast merch now, like
yes.
Exclusive. You can only get it there. MrBeast merch.
Okay. Like merchandising. Okay.
Well, I think we'll see like a Zoomies type thing, but it's purely creator products. And like it's like a group of creators coming together to start this thing, and then you like, let's say you're a creator, you're on the rise, right? You just hit like 5 million subscribers, you want to make a product. You go to that company, they help you make the product, and then they distribute it across their hundreds of stores in the US. You know, like it would be like if you wanted to make your own popcorn or whatever, like bada bing, bada boom, they'll figure out how to make the popcorn and they'll put it right there, right when that person who's trying to buy MrBeast merch is checking out. They're like, oh, I could go for some like Ninja popcorn, you know? Like, I think we'll see something like that where it'll be like a brand or a group of like these creators that are already making their own products, essentially getting themselves ready to then cultivate everybody that's going to be coming through the pipeline in the next like 5 years.
I didn't want you to tell everyone that because that was like how the NOFOLD was going to become a business model, was going to be like the direct to consumer, like the go-to guy for all creators.
Oh, we're still doing that.
Okay.
Be scared.
Sure. Yeah. Be ready, internet. This stuff is coming alive. We're going to make these products. You're going to have Ninja popcorn in your Walmart aisles.
Exactly.
Watch it.
No, it's going to be in our own. It's going to be in our own supermarket.
Aisle.
Creator supermarket.
Bro, if we make a Costco for creators, bro.
Dude, just imagine
bro.
that. Like, it would be cool.
Oh, it'd be so dope. Like literally be like, all right, this is for YouTube. this is for like TikTok. And it's like you make your own like commercial line of like standing only like pop-up shops or like different stores across the US. Something like MrBeast, where it's like the little like test kitchens and stuff.
Exactly. Like imagine if someone ran, and someone's going to totally steal this idea, so I'm going to have to do it first. But imagine if a bunch of like, exactly, like a bunch of cooking creators, right, got together, bought like 10 food trucks, and then just said like, these food trucks are blank canvases, you know? Like they would deck them out in like a creator's like thing for 6 months. And then they hire all the staff, all the everything to run the food truck for 6 months, and they strip all the paint from it, and they put another creator on it, and they send it back out into the streets. Like it would be like MrBeast Burger, but it'd be super exclusive, only in a few areas. Or maybe it's like the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile. It's going from West Coast to East Coast one time.
Bro, that's wild.
Exactly. Like stuff like that is like really cool. I mean, we're kind of seeing that now. Like I was looking at Logan Paul's, he did his Maverick Athletic drop. Freaking what? $125 for a hoodie coming off of $90 hoodies in the last Maverick drop, which makes sense. I'm pretty sure they're like the Supreme. They're the exact same ones like the Supreme hoodies, like the blanks, which are already $125, and he's selling in LA, so it makes sense. But if you go, it's like, oh, it's powered by this company. And that company's whole thing is like turning creators into brands and like creating brands out of creators. And I noticed like in their like cutesy little art thing, like you can see Emma Chamberlain too.
Yep.
It's like Emma Chamberlain's involved in like that same thing. And so you're seeing these brands pop up that their whole goal is to better the creator e-commerce space. And we're probably going to see a big boom in like these brands pop up and frick over creators for a good like 5 years like MCNs did. But we're also going to see those companies that, you know, are like going through the woodworks, like this company with Logan Paul, or YouTubers is another huge one. And dude, they're just going to like take off.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see, like, I can just imagine like a giant Costco that's like, this is YouTube only, or this is like creators only, and people are like pull up and they're like, yo, this is the cooking creators aisle, yo, this is like technology and widgets aisle of based off all the creators and like what they created or certain products that they like put their name behind and stuff. Like that's gonna be wild,
dude. Exactly. Like I think we're on like that like strange, like especially with like NELK doing this, like they're one of the first creators to step out and say we're making a brand that doesn't have anything to do with us outside of we are now influencer marketing for a brand that we own.
Yep.
So it's free marketing. I think, who knows, we could see like Peter McKinnon coming out with his own bags, ND filters, great. Like Peter, Sony wholesales their sensors. Why aren't you just making a camera? Like, you know, like I think we could see that.
Bro.
We could see something. And that's going to be like, I think within the next 5 years, we're probably going to see like that, not like an app-based unicorn, but like a product-based unicorn creator business. Could be Happy Dads. Who knows? But I think there's some product is going to land, and then it's just going to like skyrocket. It's going to change the game.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I want to wrap up the podcast now with a couple of like, it's not would you rathers, but this is something that's going to try new, and then we got to present each other with some kind of bet. Because this is something we tried last week, where we did or the week before we did a challenge to each other.
First episode, make sure to go listen.
First episode, go check it out. It was definitely something that we like challenge each other for social media and stuff. But I was like, you know what? It's not really a challenge, more of like a bet. Like with NOFOLD, it's like, yo, like you fold and you're like, no, like bet, and you're like, all right, cool, bet. Like you're gonna hold you to a certain standard, but it's not like a week in, week out challenge. It's more of like it's on you, and if you win, dope, that's like kudos to you, but it doesn't really like change the situation, rather than just like give you more like strength and courage about what you're doing. So like first off, I want to be able to throw out a couple of these, and it's funny because is it FRDR or
FRDI.
FRDI. Shout out to that podcast. Those guys are epic, and I would love to do some kind of collab with them based off of just like us four being able to like talk about stuff. Who knows? We'll try to see what happens. If you can reach out to people like that, I feel like this is the generation now to do that kind of stuff and partner with like other people that are creators to really like grow everyone's brand. But they definitely have a good sense of humor when it comes to like questions and stuff. So one of the things I was thinking about, when's the last time you cleaned your bed sheets?
I have a new, like a clean thing folded, ready to change them out, and I haven't changed them yet.
How long has that been?
I think they've been there for like 2 weeks or like a week or something.
Oh yeah, I'm saying, but how long have the sheets been on that are on right now?
Like a month and a half. Month and a half,
Month
2
and a
months.
half? Okay. That's not too bad.
What about you then?
Bro. Well, my wife, different story, but in college, I let that thing go like half a year.
Ew.
Before watching bed sheets.
Lucky.
It is what it is, but it's just like one of those things that like you don't think about, and I'm like,
dude, what if you spilled your Ninja Pops over those? Then are you going to clean them?
bro, that's why I don't eat in bed. I don't understand people that eat in bed. Do you eat in bed? Oh. How can you sleep knowing that like some crumbs from like a pizza could be like chilling next to you?
Dude, I used to live in a room that had a queen size bed in it, and it was literally like you could only walk around the bed. Like that was the entirety of the room.
That was
like you couldn't fit it. If you could fit, I could fit a desk. Could not fit a chair. To put it into perspective.
So wait, you use the bed as a chair? You just like
basically use the bed as a chair, or I like basically just take a plank of wood and just slap that down. That's my table. That's where my dinner gets eaten. So you get the occasional like crumb, but it's not too bad. You know?
Okay, if you're a clean eater, I can see that. I was curious because there's a lot of things that like people have been doing at home right now, and it's like when you get so busy because we've all been at home like constantly, that's like, do they keep up with certain things that they never kept up with before? Was there anything during quarantine that you realized that you're like, yo, like I didn't really ever take care of this at my house, but now I am because I'm here every day and I see it every day? Is there been anything cleaning wise or like anything that stuck out to you that you never really dealt with before COVID?
I mean, I like clean my room a lot more often, and I like reorganize my room a lot more often because I'm just sitting in there going like, I don't like that my desk is on that wall. And I just
I think that's everyone. Everyone's like an HGTV person now. Yeah. They're like, home edition? I can make this room. I can make it into a closet. Okay, here we go. And like rescale the whole wall.
Dude, that is my room. Like every 6 months, I'm like, what if I could just transform this entire room into a Brady Bunch set remake, you know?
Bro, my wife is that way. And she'll like move the bed. And there was one point where the bed was moved every 2 weeks. Bro, I was like coming home and I'm like, do we even have a bed still? Like, I don't know what's going on here. It was like one corner out face towards a window, sticking out the window in the hallway. Dude, I'm like, what is going on here?
There was one time, I don't know if I'm just weird, but back in the day, if I like move my bed, so we always facing toward the same wall for maybe like 6 months, 8 months, maybe even a year. If I go, you know what, I'm feeling myself, I'm going to change it to a different way. While I'm sleeping, my body will just turn to the way the bed was before. So I'll wake up like literally in a whole, like the same position where my head's just like, and my feet are just dangling off. It's just bad.
Do you, when you sleep, do you move a lot? Or do you like...
I mean, I guess.
Or do you like straight up like Dracula where you're just like...
Oh, that's gross. If you sleep like looking straight at the ceiling, you are definitely like out, not coming near me. Yeah. That's for sure. You definitely have problems. You definitely asked for a manager, and you definitely like vanilla over chocolate. And I don't know about you, but that is a criminal sin.
Yeah, it's a criminal sin. That's one of those things. It's like when they pour cereal before they pour pour milk before cereal.
If you pour your milk before your cereal, you sleep looking at the ceiling. Yeah, you wake up and go, I can't wait to start my day today.
And you get a big old glass of milk, and then you're like, here's the cereal. You're like, someone's definitely having to watch you 24/7. Like that is not coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it'll just be funny. But to wrap up everything, I think for a challenge this week, I think for you, for coming from me, for you, I want to be able to see like another YouTube video. And
It's in the work.
Yeah, I want you to like and continue to like mold that creative mind of yours. Don't get caught up into like trying to create this like epic masterpiece. But like now that you saw like how Inside was, where it was just like random moments in time, try to like build something around a series of similar to that sort of like just random moments in time, whether it's you just sitting in your room for like 8 hours one day and you're like, yo, this has been a very unproductive day, but I'm going to film everything. Like that's pretty cool. Like I think that would be interesting, but who knows? So that's my challenge to you, or bet. So
bet. Ooh. For me, it's the exact same thing as 1 week ago. I want to see you make a TikTok.
No.
Make a TikTok that doesn't involve your optimistic relationship with traffic or your dog or anything like that. I want to see you take out your nice camera, put that into vertical mode, record a whole thing, edit it in Adobe Premiere, and upload that. I want to see you like tell like a really good 60-second story. It could be about literally anything.
Okay.
With like shot variants.
Yeah.
You can't just set up your camera and talk for 60 seconds. I just eliminated half his ideas.
Damn it. Okay. No. Bet. I got it.
Sweet.
I'll make it happen.
I want to see it. By next podcast.
By next podcast.
Yep.
Okay. And it's every day?
No.
Or just one. That's really good. Okay.
Because you're a busy man. If you could do 2. You said you wanted to upload a podcast every other day. Yeah. I think it's feasible.
Yeah.
To spend like 2 hours every other day making a podcast.
I'll tell you right now, I could probably make a TikTok every other day, and then one of those days I'm going to do one that's like with my camera.
Super high quality. Super story. Go crazy with the storytelling creative.
Bro, it's going to be a
idea.
Netflix original.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm going to pitch it to Netflix, and they're going to be like, yo, can we put that in our vertical? And be like, you don't even have a vertical yet, but we're going to make a channel just for vertical. Let's go. Like,
there you go.
I see that happening, but sad RIP to, what was it, Quibi that did that?
Rest in peace.
No,
good rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in, we're happy you're gone, honestly.
People are like, Quibi? Is that a vitamin? Like what?
Quibi was like a rich people dumpster fire. Like you couldn't look away from just all the like the fireworks and the like weird smelling essential oils. You're like, haha, oh, that sucks for you, Jim.
Bro, that's the best way to put it. A rich man's dumpster fire. Oh my God. That was so good.
$1 billion. Just down the drain.
So quick.
You know what I could have done with $1 billion?
Bro.
Anything else.
Anything else. And like made it actually work. They just were like literally like, okay, there it is. And you're like, I paid $1 million or $1 billion for that. Like, come on.
Exactly. So tune in next week when we have our $1 billion idea. I'm thinking of calling it Schmibby. And I will catch you, and he will catch you too, in the next episode of the NOFOLD podcast.
Let's go.
Goodbye, darlings.
Woo.